Good morning, sunshines. Did you miss me yesterday? Ooh, yesterday was a busy day. Oh my goodness. Had a lot to do yesterday. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with sunshiny faces. Hey, good morning, Scientology up north. Hi, Rona. Good morning. Yeah, everything is fine. I've got a sump pump in the crawl space of my house, and it looks like it shit the bed. And so starting to get a little bit of water back up in the crawl space. So we're trying to figure that out. Not much I can do about it, but my son's looking at it for me. Hey, Joe. Hi, Rona. Hi, Irish Mart. Hey, Ann. Good morning to you guys. Hey, T. Good morning. Good evening. It's almost good night for you. Hi, Kirby's mom. Hey, Ganja girl. Good morning. And I did not get a call. Good morning, Powerlize to Paralyze. For today's meeting, so I'll probably stream it just to see if anybody else gets in. But I did not get a call. Oh, got my coffee going this morning. Got the dogs fed. I saw him for a few minutes. They were power washing at Big Blue. Yeah, they had who'd they have power washing? I'll have to bring that up. Uh-oh, I hate it when that happened, T. Good morning, Tiff. Yeah, I had to think about what today was too. I really did, because I missed yesterday. Well, I didn't. Was in a couple of different chats yesterday. But, right? Really, instead of out there with a little scrunchie or a toothbrush. Cubsy saw that one, or Cutsy. Yep. Well, we see that they are trying to get a vacation on that road. We saw with audits information that she CPRA'd. All I've been doing this morning is look at somewhere to live as I've to leave this house in 6 months. Aw, Joe. Right. Good morning, morning, Amy. Yeah, that's why I'm glad that they started doing the public comments. I laughed and laughed and laughed over that, Miriam. That cracked me up so bad. And I was like, oh no, I hope she doesn't be offended. Hi, Brian. Good morning. Good morning, Cricket Cinema. Yep, I said yesterday, let's clean this house up and move. Sell it and move. Let's find somewhere with no snow, no hurricanes. Yeah, I can't believe they're out there wasting water, power washing. If they had a true good reclamation for water, it wouldn't really matter because, water comes from the sky, gets used, gets reused, but everything they do just goes right out to the ocean. Oh, not to get there technical. Goodness sake, yawn yawn. Called Clearwater in Florida, right? Yeah, Mark Bunker's been doing a lot of confused cockroaches. Yeah, Florida has hurricanes. Yeah, I'm not into hurricanes. Good morning, Susan B. I kind of laughed because they were all talking about the Santa Anas down in California, and all my friends up in Anchorage, they had 130-mile-an-hour winds last weekend too. Lots of damage up in Anchorage. So they had Chinooks as well as them having Santa Anas down there. He said he doesn't know too many people that didn't have shingles all over their yard. I mean, 130-mile-an-hour winds are tough winds. So Texas is too hot. And they have big bugs down there. And snakes. And it's brown down there. I need a place that's got green trees. And come live with Brian, but Brian's got more snow than we do. Yeah, Idaho is very cold. And they've got snow and they've got mountains. I don't know, I might just get an accessible RV and just travel. Right. Yeah, Arkansas is a nice place. Are you a Texan girl, Susan P? Good morning, Flower. Nice, you have sunshine today. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous day here too. Just cold. Yeah, might just get an accessible van and not really a van, more like an RV, and just kind of travel around. Hey, good morning, Glow Drill. Okay, that's an invitation I can take, Glow Drill. Oh, wow. That's cool that you guys live so close. Yeah, and sorry about the confusion on that live on the Scientology crimes last night, but I was trying to figure it all out and I couldn't get StreamYard to let me in. Finally did. Took a little bit of thinking though. Had to do it the hard way. Sometimes I always have to do everything the damn hard way. Yeah, the Kirby's mom, that's a good idea. Ooh, thank you for the link. Yep, I seen he ended up taking a deal which made it all go away, kind of more like a handshake. Good night, Ganja girl. Go get a little bit of rest before our meetings today. Yep, okay, well, no spoiler alert then, Joe. But everything's good, and they're getting ready to move to Oregon anyways. So I'm glad. I'm glad it's working out for them. Good morning, Sandy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miriam. Yep, if you were in Scientology, would you please take that survey? It's a short 10-question survey. No identifying information will be used or taken at all. It's not going to be given. It's just questions that will help me with this LAPD meeting. Well, there's a good opportunity for that right now, as long as they're paying for it, Blow Drill, as long as they're paying appropriate money, because living there is very expensive. No, I don't think it was private. Let me double check. Did I put it on private by mistake? Live? No, it's just the Scientology survey, and it is did I put it? It's got views, so it can't be private. Nope, it's public. But there is a survey. I'm gonna pop it in the right StreamYard. So yeah, it took me a couple of tries. I actually ended up, it was going to it was being directed to the wrong YouTube channel, and I have no idea how I got the YouTube channel. And it duplicated my YouTube channel. Oh, no worries. Here's a copy to the link. Unless I screwed that up too. Let me see. If I go there, yeah. So it's just a quick 10-question survey for anybody that's been in Scientology. No identifying information taken. And oh, Lorelei is live.
Give it a little more room. It's still facing the same way that same place it was, but so I put it in here,
Shout out
and
to Lorelei.
it's happy. It's got more growth over here.
We all want to be growing and happy. Good morning, Ari Forever. Erie Forever, while you're driving, I am going to agree with you with that. And I was thinking about that this morning when they were all discussing Jenna's video and whether or not, I don't know if she went back to him or if she just said that that he gave her a good excuse or an apology or whatever. 14 yes to the next 6 and no to the last 3. Okay. Do you want me to just fill it in for you, Blow Drill? I can do that. 1 through 4, yes. And then to the next 6. And no to the last 3. Okay. And then it does. I mean, I know people. I have been a person that goes back and forth to the abuser. And that's why it was so triggering for me. Good morning, VGI. It's okay if you're coming in late. Here, we're going to fill this out for Blow Drill real quick. 2, yes, 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 yes. Did you join the Sea Org before you were 18, Blow Drill? I'm going to say, were you told yes? Let me go back. Yeah, these And no to the last three. Okay. Yay, good morning, Haggist. You joined when you were 14. That's what I thought. Okay, I'll go back and redo that question because I think I skipped it and forgot to include it. We'll submit another response just with that one. Yes. It's going to screw up my stats, but that's okay. I'll know to combine them. Well, thank you, Kirby's mom. Please do, T. Yes, please do. I would love it if anybody would share that on their tab. I would be so grateful. I was going through all of the children from Liz Gale's list, and I was just making all the information, and then I thought, you know what? That's going to take me forever. It'd just be easier to put out a link and have everybody just answer it. Thank you, Haggis. I appreciate it. But the questions are telling, like have you received audits, ethics, and courses? There have been a couple of no's, but that tells me that in any state that we're looking at, California, Florida, and the other one that I was looking at was Pennsylvania, the laws, when you look at their laws and how their laws describe child abuse, thank you, T. Appreciate it. And tell whomever you're talking to hello. Hey, good morning, the Holy Rogue. I'm sorry I missed your call last night. I was snoozing. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Loved your interview yesterday with Scientology Geek. Yes, but if you're looking at a survey like this, you have to just use the laws in general. I don't think it's really changed that holding a child without due process, or beating a child, or emotionally or mentally abusing a child, I don't think that's changed. Good morning, MD Media. Where you going? So you have to just use a generalized law, but even back then, it still was illegal to kidnap a child, hold them against their will, lock them up and imprison them without due process. Yeah, thank you, VGI. Yeah, I understand that. But if you're looking at, as I said, if you're looking at a cross section of answers from statistics, you can't really place it. You can't silo it. Holy Rogue, would you take the survey also, please? I'll re-put the link here. And you just go to this link. It's a quick 10-question survey. And if you would share it, that would be cool. Oops, I put the wrong link in there. Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. So the other thing is if you've been moved across state lines, that's called trafficking. Whether we'd like to know that or not, because it's nice to be able to bury your head in the sand, but that's trafficking. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Holy Rogue. I always love saying your name, the Holy Rogue, the Holy Rebel. I know, like when Chance. Nope, no answer. I haven't heard anything either, Traveltology. VG, I understand that, but when you're looking at trying to get authorities involved, your first plane ride was to Tampa to start my Sea Org career. Yep, and that's trafficking, my friend. They trafficked you. You know, you can't sign a billion-year contract at 11 years old and it not be okay. And when you're dealing with these authorities, I've said it in the past, a sad story is a sad story without evidence. Once you start putting evidence and stats, I know we've talked, and stats are individuals, stats are people. I get that. But when you're dealing with authorities, they don't want to hear about anecdotes. They don't want to hear anecdotally or the hearsay. I agree with that, VGI. So when you're doing a survey of how many people joined the Sea Org before they were 18, so if you have 90% of the respondents saying they joined the good morning, Martha. Yep, that's what they want is the facts. So if you're looking at the police chief looking at the survey and 90% of the people were in the Sea Org that answered this survey before they were even 18, that means that there was child labor going on. That's a red flag. That's a point for him to go, when you're looking at, have you been in the RPF, and 70% of the people were unlawfully detained or unlawful due process of a minor, makes you go, because the word RPF itself doesn't mean anything. But if you look behind and you explain to them what RPF is, that pulls up a red flag of crimes. So using these statistics and explaining them in a document, in a paper, pulls up the red flags, similar to the UNOI claim, the Unified Nation of Islam federal claim that just happened. It compares the two and shows the facts. See, anecdotally, you have one or two people going in, and you have claims here and there, but they've been getting settled. And all the media, all of the coverage has been buried. And then we need evidence of them doing labor. Exactly. We have videos of that. And we have the personal testimonies, the personal claims. And like what the lawyer was saying is that you need to have more than one. Exactly. You have to show the precedence and pattern. If you can't show precedence and pattern, nobody's looking at it. Good morning, AZ Crimson. You know, at one point I was over 90% of people, and it's down now because there's been a balance, of people that were in Scientology that attempted suicide or had suicidal ideation. At one point I was over 90% on these stats. And if it's more than 50%, that's huge. So that's the evidence that they need to see. That's okay. It was just a discussion of trying to get this. Right? Right, Blow Drill? It's unimaginable to think that you could send a baby out into the world all by themselves. Yep, that's what they're looking at, is the numbers. And that's what's got to pull, because as I said, everything's getting buried in the media. You have to collect it all and show that there is. I mean, if enough people don't come forward to say that there's a need, nothing happens. It just gets buried. But in my heart, one person, I know, just one person in that stat should be enough. You're right. You're right, Traveltology. It is. And that's scary. Yeah, just one person being abused should be enough to make shit happen. But it doesn't but when you start combining all of this stuff, and then the R1 visa question or the visa question, I mean, that's a huge number. I'm coming up with a lot of people that were brought here from other countries. You're right. Yep, blow drill. You might as well quit crying in your beer and just get on with it. You knew of a man that was put on a plane as a baby? Oh my goodness. Wow. That is crazy, Kirby's mom. Thank you, Holy Rug. Yeah, I'd like to finish this week and then this weekend. Um, yeah, and then right now they are. I can't believe how many people are being brought in right now from other countries. That's a huge precedence right now. This is the wrong word. That's very prevalent right now. Yeah, I'm almost ready for coffee number 2. That's just crazy, Kirby's mom. Who was that Surges that I was reading last night? I think there are sources that are running around for the R1 visa information. But what do you mean by can we source the R1 visa, like where they're coming from? From the past, but I don't think current. There was somebody working on that. Yeah, I don't know how to get it the current information though. As I said, I know somebody was working on past information. I think Cece was working on that. Haggis bad? Martha, you're funny. That's a good question for somebody to look into, Haggis. Oh, I didn't know that, Kirby's mom. You know, and this is a good it's a good survey. Now, I did kind of present it about the US. There's a lot of people that don't live in the US right now that could answer this because they were here. Um, but maybe somebody could start one of these for Europe, one for Australia. I'm not too, Europe, especially in Miriam up, Scientology up north area, maybe Robert Dam has already started this. Hey, good morning, Doctor Who Heather. There is a public works meeting today, MD Media. There is a Chicago meeting today. I was not called to do comments, but there still is a Chicago meeting, and I'm wondering if anybody else got called up. The Public Works meeting is at 10 o'clock your time, MD Media. Yeah, maybe Africa. Um, do you, because it tells us different, I guess it would tell us the same thing, but parts of it, they may not have visas, or I'm not too sure. I think because there's no identifying information, that it might be best if it was separated out globally. So like if you were in Europe and answer it, it would have a different meaning to those in Europe rather than USA. I don't know. I'm not saying the words right, Traveltology. Cults use the R1 visas a lot. There was a big case with religious workers trafficked from India, decided on the East Coast. Martha, could you give me maybe the name of that case? That's a great idea, Miriam. In Traveltology, I'm not saying the words correct, but what I'm thinking of is that different lawmakers and different authorities, different governmental they're not going to really care about the US in Europe. And so since it's not identifiable respondents coming in, that you could use the information different for Europe or for Africa or for Australia. Those seem to be the biggest places. Right, so it wouldn't really be a big issue unless they were unless they were bringing people in from Russia or the Ukraine, something like that. So I think if you modified the questions to make them more where you can take the information out of them more localized for your region or regionalized. That's kind of what I meant. I, I could have. Right. So a big deal like for your area is your youth. So especially in that area is children. You I guess you want the survey to show an aha. Ah, the Ukraine has free movement to Denmark. So you want to base your survey on what your what your ahas would be. So what aha do you want to get from the survey? What damning evidence do you want to show that there's a red flag for? So if it's children being used, slave labor, RPFs, unlawful detentions, right. Yeah, Scientology got a lot of things covered. My link didn't work. I can repost it. Thank you, Miriam. See if that one works, T. Yeah, the only thing I was thinking of Traveltology is that I didn't want to put in identifying information, so I just I didn't think to like put what region of the world are you from. And now I'm too far into it, it'll skew the numbers if I do that. I would like that would be a very cool thing to have, Miriam. If you get that deep throat, let me know. Yes, because you're looking at different, yeah, she would be listed because you wouldn't be combining, let's say let's say I did the survey here and then she did the survey in Australia. I wouldn't be combining those numbers and then doing a statistic. Yep, 10 a.m. in LA. Good night, T. Good night, sweet T. Yeah, important to find out what short story they were taught to get approved for an R1 visa. Yes, I would, Miriam. Yes, I would. I still laugh about that. What's that? Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Now that song is stuck in my head. Yeah, that would be really cool to get an under the radar. I'm Oh, I have one doggy sleeping in the middle of the bed, and the other Betty's one she is limping around. I need to go give her some medicine this morning. Her hip's hurting her. Yeah, she's she was doing the yanking on her ear. I need to go clean her ears, and that's what she's whining about. She wants some pain medicine, I think. Yeah, I've got one that his ears never give him problems whatsoever. And hers, she does that. She digs at her ear. So I always have to clean her ears. And I think it's because she's allergic to whatever's in the food, but really, it keeps getting taken down. Mine hasn't been taken down yet, but I'll keep sharing it. Yeah, I think I've got quite a few views on it. Yeah, Matt, should we add tags? Okay. That's probably why they're getting it and you're tagging them. What time was that Scientology or the Chicago meeting? I think it's 10 their time. Um, Tri-City Clerk. Yep, 10 a.m. So 11 o'clock our time. Excuse me. Mm, Files, agenda. Shoot, that's right. They don't put their stuff on the agenda. On the agenda. So that's at 11. And then hers was taken down too? That's amazing. Yeah, they haven't done anything on mine. So good news is, or no news is good news on that. I told you they can't catch all of us. Because the true intent is to get bad word, to get bad publicity. And I think audit is going in person today for the Public Works meeting. I'm gonna set you guys down. I'm gonna go grab another coffee, you guys. I'll be right back. It's a 2 coffee day. Grizz, don't hang up on my. Be right back, you guys. Maybe. I'm stuck. I think that when we are posting, let someone know so they can then screen record and share too. Yeah, that is the best way to do it. And that's what we have been doing, especially with Matt stuff, because they like to take his down. They are picking on Matt, that's for sure. Be right back. Sorry guys, it takes forever to get back in here with coffee in my hand. Here I am. Goodbye, Traveltology. Have a wonderful day at therapy. What doesn't belong to F. Scientohagus? Sorry, I grabbed some scrambled eggs too while I was in there too. Mm. Matt, are you going to drive down to City Hall? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just. And who was it? Was it Nora that was saying she knew the angry elf? Mm. I think the name she gave was Adam and Tara Kit, but I don't know if I heard that right because I can't find that name anywhere. Yeah, the angry elf and her husband. I think it was Adam and Tara, and I thought she said the last name was Kit. So I looked them up under K, I looked them up under C. Good morning, Crystal Phoenix Rising. Hello. Love your videos. I kind of like her as angry elf, though. I think she's more of an angry elf. No, you're not getting my food there, bud. Let me put that away. I'm going to go back to good morning, starshine. So happy to be. AZ Crimson's still live, still doing mornings. Doing his, if y'all just want some music in the background. Do 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 do. If anybody didn't see the Holy Rogue and Scientology Geeks yesterday, that was really good. You didn't have it on your channel, did you, the Holy Rogue? Oh, let me see. Let me look up Scientology live. That was very, very honest and beautiful conversation yesterday between Holly, Scientology Geek, and the Holy Rogue. Live 20 hours a day. Yep. Here's that one. Thank you, Scientology up north. Did I forget to put that in there? I'm sorry, AZ. Thank you for doing that, Miriam. My apologies. Don't throw things at me. I'm sorry, AZ. So audit found a writ of mandamus And apparently I need to write one. And then we need to find a lawyer to serve it. Thank you for saying that, Crystal, but I did feel bad about it. So when I do feel bad about something, I love to apologize when it's real. Hey, Twyla, good morning, by the way. Yep, those are good things to bring up at that meeting today, huh? I know Jeffrey Augustine had seen it. We were talking about that earlier. Yep, that's a ridiculous waste of water when they don't need to be wasting it. Yeah, somebody wasn't thinking too clearly, were they? Oh, that would be really cool, Crystal. Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it today to see if any of our folks got in. I haven't heard back from anybody. I know I was not chosen because they do have a lottery system to speak. Tomorrow is the Chicago Board of Police meeting, and I will be attending that, and I will be live streaming that tomorrow. They have a different process for their comments, so I'll be calling in tomorrow. Yeah, it was really good, Joe. I thought you were on there at the time, though. I wasn't able to stay for the whole thing, but I did watch most of it. I think I microwaved my eggs a little bit too much, you guys. I think right now a big push is to get stuff out into the media and finish getting the PR. Everything is so hidden. It's like the self thing is that things get settled. So there's no media, there's no news. Oh, that would be really great. I'm glad you're good at that. But that's what we need to do is I understand it's messy. Pasta Pimp, good morning. I don't know if Scientology is legit. I don't think so. I heard a little bit of sarcasm in there. Scientology is not legit. It's legitimately a scam. But that's what the problem is that all of these cases get settled. Messy is my middle name too, Crystal. Phoenix Rising. And Amy, you're spot on. That's what we need to do. I guess maybe I need to learn to do X. I guess that's where most of the media is going to right now. Okay, I will. I'll do that, Crystal Phoenix Rising. And or if you want to, you can email me and I will respond. You know, it's like with Danny's case the other day where he won the fees. That would be great to get spread out. That Scientology tried this, it didn't work. Now they're having to pay the fees. I know they could probably give a rat's ass. So the issue with the water in Los Angeles is that all of the reservoirs, not all of them, but there were a couple of reservoirs to fight the fires that were dry, and they're all complaining about no water to fight the fires, and Scientology's out there power washing the street to make it look good. Thank you, Crystal Phoenix Rising. I appreciate that. I will look at that this afternoon, and that's, the PR campaign is huge, but they're out there, they don't have water to fight the fires, and they're cleaning a road, wasting water to clean a road. Come on, let's use a little bit more common sense than that, especially right after the fire. So using opportunities like that for bad PR is huge. Hmm. I agree, Brian. If we were looking for something to make sense, it certainly wouldn't be Scientology. You're right. It makes some sort of sense, just not common. Common sense was not given to all of the OTs. But who in their right thinking says, okay, you Sea Org person or you staffer, go out and waste another couple of thousand gallons of water to make sure the street looks nice. So Pasta Pimp, that's what that is. And hello and welcome in, Pasta Pimp. Also, a lot of water rights were sold to private investors like Linda Resnick's former actress. Huh, that's interesting information, Martha. I agree, moron gives them too much credit. You're right. Yeah, and they also have been using water from, and I'm just going to generalize because I can't remember. It's from the Colorado River, and from that agreement, bringing the water in, and they're using the water to water the fields for like soy and stuff that's going back overseas. If I remember right, I was watching a documentary on it the other day. And I know Public Works has been trying to get these, the water reclamation plants built and done, but that's years away. Hmm. It all kind of all boils back down to the almighty dollar, doesn't it, Martha? Thank you, Lupita, and you're more than welcome to drop in anytime. Sometimes I don't know that I am making a difference. Sometimes I feel like I'm just banging my head against the wall. Not in our community because we see it, but it's it's like waiting for the right ears to hear it is frustrating. That's definitely interesting information, Martha. Martha's saying California taxpayers are buying water back at 4 times the cost. They own most of the water shares in California. They grow the most pistachio, almonds, clementines, and pomegranates than anyone else. Yeah, I know YRB is really on top of that too, Martha. Good morning, Journey 2020. How are you today? Mm-hmm. It's like, because I mean, most of you that have been with me for a little while know that I do day trading. And like, who owns the lithium mines here in the US? I mean, China does, but who owns most of the shares for the lithium? Oh, thank you, Phoenix Rising. Thank you for being a member. Um, I'll give you a clue. Pelosi, her husband, has a shit ton of shares for the lithium. And Schumer, and we're not going to go into politics whatsoever. It has nothing to do with politics. But it drives me crazy that a lot of the public figures own so much for water rights, for lithium, for the mines. Good morning, Dusty. So when you're looking at who owns those shares or who has most stock in those shares, it's funny how they want everything to be green. Well, yeah, because they own the shares. And when everything's going to be green, it makes their company's value rise. And then they dump their shares. It's just crazy. There's so much that money's behind it. You just gotta follow the money. Okay, go get some breakfast, Crystal Phoenix Rising. Thank you. But yeah, we only have one lithium mine in America, and it's down in Nevada, near the California border. Oh, Dusty, I need some warmth. Send some warmth up this way. It's cold. Brian sent me a snow. Now I need some warmth. Mm, PGI, I get it. That's why we need to make it not toxic. That when we need, that when, it's almost like the human trafficking area. That when, who's that guy? Tim, the Mormon guy. Not to say there's anything wrong with Mormons, but that's how I just kind of think of him. Is the Mormon guy made the Our Space, the Operation Underground. Of course they did, Twyla. It's all about the money. But that made that so messy in there that now nobody really wants. And Marisol Nichols with the human trafficking, everything kind of became icky. Nobody wanted to touch that. Whereas we need to, as a community, bring that back around and focus what we're doing on the abuses. Focus it on the elder abuse. Focus it on the financial abuse. And making it not toxic. I'm doing okay during 2020. After this, I'm going to fluff and buff and be brave enough to look down in the crawl space to see if I have extra water in there. I've got somebody coming out today to try and change the sump pump out. That's what happened yesterday. You 100% Lupita. Creating a safe space for emotional support is needed. The voices of ex-Scientologists deserve to be heard, and creating spaces for awareness and support is vital. It is. But I think creating a spot where not only the voices are heard, but something is done about it. Because we all hear Serge. Serge has an eloquent voice. He has beautiful words. But the right ears need to hear to do the right thing. Something needs to happen because of it. That when they do, even in a safe spot, talk about it, where an ex-Scientologist has the right and the feeling of care, but that it's not falling on deaf ears. I hear you, Martha. I think a bigger problem was that the reservoirs to fight fires and just looking at it as a preventative, they have water. Hmm. I think that's like one of the biggest frustrations that Miriam and Serge, I'm going to use them too, have, is that it's like they're beating the drums, they're giving the warning, but nothing's being done. And I totally 100% feel that frustration. It's like, what do you need to do? Uh, don't take me wrong on this. Die in front of them? Does somebody need to have blood spread and bloodshed right in front of them? And for it to be an important thing? Why does it need to go that far? It's just a question. Why does it need to go that far? Why does P. Diddy have to have a video showing somebody being abused in the hallway of a hotel for it to go that far before somebody will finally listen? That's a good thought. I think they are doing that, Leanne, and that's part of, well, I mean, if you want to get like engineering wise, is that the water still has to come from somewhere. And I think they do have the reservoirs, but it takes it away from somewhere else. Mm. Unfortunately, I think you're right, Brian. Yeah, when I was talking to Jamie Mustard the other day, it absolutely does. So I was just going to comment on that. Journey 2020 is that I was talking to Jamie Mustard the other day, and we were talking. Oh, we were talking about uh, whoever said that. Oh, Aaron was saying that Miriam had somebody speaking for her, that it was Jamie. Jimmy's like, yeah, right. Miriam Francis and Nora does not need a man speaking for them. And like I would ever be able to get my voice over them. They have the minds of their own, and they have their own personalities. So how in the world? So anyways, he was talking about, because I was talking about the survey and wanting him to fill it out and do all that. And we were talking about attempted suicide and suicidal ideation. And he was telling me about his brother's ex-wife and all this. And I'm like, they were married? I mean, the whole thing, it's like ex-Scientologists all are like 1 degree of separation from everybody else. Exactly, VGI. There's no money for them, so they sweep it under the rug. And the money that they are given, they don't want that swept under the rug or taken away or the rug pulled. It really is all about the money. But it's amazing how Scientology and Scientologists, even the exes from, I mean, it's y'all are only a degree or 2 degrees away, not even 6 of separation. It's amazing. And I know me coming into it, I'm like digging up these facts, and they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, we already knew that." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you just tell me so I didn't have to do all this damn research?" I guess I just started, that's why I started this stupid survey is, and instead of me having to look everybody up and do it, I'll just ask. It'd be so much easier. Sometimes I feel like I have to do some things the hard way. Oh, that's interesting, Brian. Right? You make decisions on information that you knew at the time. But now, ooh, so they're going to put a consult in. Yeah, I know. Where some of us are just really good at that, doing things the hard way. Uh, I try not to. I try to use my noodle a little bit better, but I know that's what I was looking at was that documentary that I happened to see. Yeah, so Brian, are you going to be able to get the shots? That would be way cool. Yeah, I've always kind of wondered if, because my sympathetic nervous system is really broken because of the spinal cord injury, I'm wondering if that would help. And that's questions he never did get back with me on that. He was going to ask the doctor about that. I don't think it will, but it would be nice if it did. I would like to see how those shots would work on me, but I don't think Medicare covers it. Well, yeah, Brian. Yeah, I would still be kind of concerned about that. That would give me more anxiety. Yeah, there's a bunch of politics of people moving around down there. Mm, definitely keep my eye on that, Brian, to see how that works. In fact, I should put that on my list to text Jamie, because we always start getting talking about everything else, and I never did find out if he asked the doctor. Oh, really? That's interesting. I'll have to look, Brian. Hmm. Right? They are a powerful force. I know, right, 2020, but if you don't ask, then they go, well, we knew that, or we know this person, we know that person. But if you do ask, you get that kind of response. So that's it. Yeah, right, Martha. I have both. I think it's probably worth asking my doc about. Hmm. It is still scary thinking of them putting those big old needles in your neck, though. That's what I think I'd be more afraid of than anything. I'll have to look through Cheryl's videos. Yeah, it's like I was doing that story for Scientology Crimes the other day about Marie Billheimer and Allison Carroll and Aaron Poulin and Nicola. And Blowdrill's like, oh, Nicola's doing fine. Or he was talking about somebody else that was on the list, whomever it was. He's like, oh yeah, they're doing fine. I'm like, well, if you guys all know each other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not my fondest thought either, of having a big needle in there. If they could put the needle down below my breastbone area where I didn't feel it, I'd be fine. Yeah, I don't think Lori played. Did she get the shot? I didn't know Lori Place got the shot. Hmm. Well, unfortunately, I mean, now I have a Social Security disability, but can you get enough work credits to get into Social Security for later, Blowdrill? Yeah, that could possibly help, Joe, to do the shots. Yeah. Yeah, I understand the don't hang out, but to keep tabs on one another. Yes. But if it's like what I would say is, hey, Dylan, do you know of this circumstance or this happening? I could probably get at least 1 degree or 2 degree separation information from you instead of having to dig for research on it. She did. She did. In fact, she's on disability because of that. But I don't know. I don't remember her saying that she got the shot. Huh. She was on the Aftermath show. Yep. She has a GoFundMe? I'll have to go look for it. That's where I had originally seen it, and then when I was going through the list of folks that were deceased, rest in peace, off from the list, off from the receipt from Liz Gale, I came across Allison Carroll's name. And when I was researching Allison Carroll, it led me to the story of the whole family. And if you go to the Scientology crimes, that's one of the last videos that I had done. That it's amazing. And that all kind of tied into the Lewis Carroll in the Lewis Reese schools, and just there was so much there, and the Johnny Lewis story. It was like, wow, this is screwed up. This is one screwed up story, and that it's sad. I think so, Joe. Yeah, Leanne, when I was supposed to go get the steroid shot in my shoulders, and that was my biggest fear, was having the damn shot. Even though, I mean, I could really care less about IVs and all of that. Shots don't bother me. But that did, because I heard it hurts really bad. I'm a wuss when it comes to pain. I'll have to look up to see if Marie, maybe could you email that to me, Journey 2020? And you don't have to send it through Poe. You can just send it to me direct. I don't know if you saw my email earlier, but here's my email address. And oh, you guys knew about it. It was presented in less than flattering terms. Hey, good morning, Minnie. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Lupita, that I need to call stuff out rather than just talk back and forth, that I need to read things for those that are just listening. We could. Hey, Journeys, email that to me. And I'll present it. Not that I have a huge channel, but Blow Drill says, I agree, Journey. We should all want to hold space and help where we can. Help one another. Minnie's going to be live at 3:30 for a Long Island serial killer update, praying for justice for Peaches on her daughter and her daughter. Definitely praying for justice. I'll have to catch that. Thank you, I will, Blow Drill. Thank you, Blow Drill, I will. I'll email you. Yeah, because Dylan, you were part of that school, weren't you? Okay. Thank you, Journey 2020. If not, I mean, I can Google it, but we'll see if it just pops up. There's just so much to all of this. Definitely hard to stay in the know. We're going to, let me go here. Was it on the underground bunkers? Nope, that's not it. But that's interesting. I'll have to go back and read that one. Is this the one here? This was back in 2020. Blow Drill, I completely get you there. Blow Drill says, I think there's a solution to all of this. I just have no idea how to navigate some of the hurdles. I 100% agree with you, Blow Drill. That's where putting different minds together really helps. And that's one of the things that we've been working on here in the Morning Sunshines is trying to resolve or trying to come up with steps to solve a problem. And sometimes when I know something, you don't, and when you know something, I don't. And when we're talking together, you go, oh, that's a way to get around this hurdle. I guess I don't have to do it the hard way all the time. Yep, that's what this is designed to do, is let us all start thinking about something together rather than trying to constantly do it on our own. But that was my thought process, because I certainly don't know everything. And I know you don't know everything, but together we know more. like discussing disability issues. I know a lot how to do the hurdles. I know how to figure out all of that. So if I can help somebody else, okay, thank you, Journey. I'm gonna take that off, and I will look at my emails. Maybe I'll look at my emails. And Crystal, I got yours. I'll talk about it later. And he did question for you guys. Thank you. I will go there. And let me go back and turn us on. That sounded really bad. Blowdrill says, defining the problem and accepting that it's an intentionally obscure and by nature multifaceted. The crimes, the trauma, the numbers. Defining it so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. You're right. And that's picking it apart and taking one step at a time. Let me give you an analogy. That's going into your home and knowing that you need to clean the home, and it's so overwhelming you just go to bed because it's just too overwhelming. But instead, taking it a piece and saying, today I'm going to clean the bathroom and I'm going to work on the bathroom. And tomorrow I'm going to work on whatever I can, the bedroom. And then taking one step at a time. And then all of a sudden, your steps make a difference. I'll get to the GoFundMe here in just a second, you guys. There was a book called let me see if I can find it. No, I'll look for it. Yeah, anxiety paralysis really sucks. So here is the fundraiser that Journey 2020 was just talking about. $120 raised out of a $3,000 goal. Support my journey to healing. Marie Bilheimer is organizing this fundraiser. I'm going to read it for those that are just listening. Hello, everyone. You may have known of some of our family's past and recent struggles. I'm seeking funds to support my personal trauma-specific therapy and general assistance to get fully on my feet once and for all. Your contribution will directly enable me to access the specialized care I need for healing. A little background in case you aren't familiar with my story. 2014 started with the loss of a pregnancy and ended with the birth of our first child. The year was filled with both joy and so much heartache. We lost my husband's paternal grandmother and my eldest sister, who coincidentally shared the same birthday, December 23rd. Also that year, we sold our condo and bought our first family home in beautiful Altadena. Unfortunately, 2015 had more challenges ahead. The Church of Scientology that we'd been born and raised in came after us for our personal decision to discontinue its practices. My mother and stepfather chose disconnection over their family and severed all ties. I was pregnant with our second born at the time, and my daughter was just shy of turning 1. I didn't know this was so recent. I thought this was farther back. Oh my goodness. In 2016, we now have 2 babies. Living in our house in Altadena, I continued working for my ex-Scientology boss in the company I'd been with since 2007. They were declared suppressive people. Several of our friends and associates began to disconnect. In 2017, I took part in Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath. In 2018, she lost her job of 11 years. They moved to Canada. She would like to advance her own education. I wonder if she is still in Canada. Any information you guys can send me on that. I have some information about some resources that if she were in the United States versus Canada, I think she said she moved from Altadena up to Canada. If she's back, I have resources for her that could help her with schooling and help her with information. It's like I gave to Liz. You can go through your state's Department of Voc Rehab. And Journey 2020, I agree. Everybody is worthy. It's not my role to find out whether somebody is worthy. In fact, somebody that I think may not be worthy may be the worthiest. Excuse me. It's again, we can't, it's not for us to be assigning right and wrong. There's a whole nother thought process on that, that's for sure. But here, let me share this while I've got it up. Well, okay, but that, so Journey 2020 says I sent her an email telling her to reach out, and then I sent an email to Nora. I now hate that I left it up to a charity to do something when I had the info. I agree with you, but sometimes the move and the decision you make is based on information you had at the time. And the information we had at the time was that would help. That was going to be a lifeblood, that was going to be an impetus for change for people. And unfortunately, It wasn't. Probably still could be, but it wasn't at the time. And like what you and Dylan said, it's maybe now it's time to make a different move and make it right. So you can't assign good or bad about that journey. It's just you were doing with what you had at the time. And you're stirring very well. So, yep, that's just the way. If journey A is blocked, go journey B. If journey B gets blocked, go up over the hurdle. Dig underneath. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you still have her email, maybe pass along my information. And as I said, not that I'm going to be the end all of information, but and I do have some resources that I can pass along. At least some information, because if she's a dual citizen, she may still be able to get help here in the US. As I was saying, I sent information to Liz. I said, look, if you need help with your schooling money, go to your local DVR, go to your state DVR. Every single one of you have a disability, a legal definition of a disability. Okay, most of you have a legal definition of a disability and can be helped through your Department of Voc rehabs.